Let me know if my screen is visible. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for now. Let's begin the course by first reviewing the syllabus before diving into the business relationships. Okay. So here is the here is the syllabus which we are going to cover throughout the course. So we will start with an introduction to business intelligence and Power BI. Okay, including the installation process. Then we will go over the basics of Power BI, covering its components, key features, and the layout of the graphical user interface. Okay, so this we will cover in the starting of the Power BI. Now, once all this will be covered, we will move on to importing the data into the Power BI. Okay, and transforming it as needed. Okay, this will involve using the built-in ETL tool. Okay, it will lie inside the Power BI only. So that ETL tool is known as Power Query Editor. Okay, in this section, we will learn how to import the data. Okay, like how to get the data from various sources and understand the storage modes like direct query, import mode, and live connection. Okay, so we will also focus on data cleaning techniques in Power Query Editor, such as streaming, okay, and yeah, such as streaming, profiling, and handling the null values. So handling the nulls and the errors, replacing the values, performing pivot and unpivot operations. Okay. Additionally, we will cover merging and appending the data and the distinctions between these processes. Okay. As well as we will discuss about importing the data from the folders. Okay. And then we will also discuss about the creating custom columns and generating summary tables, all within the Power Query editor. Okay. So this section belongs to the Power Query editor. Okay. After, after preparing the data, like after doing the transformation, okay, we will come into this data modeling in Power BI. Okay. So before starting with the data models, review essential data warehousing concepts that are important for building effective models. Okay. Then we will explore the significance of data modeling, okay, and how to build and modify relationships in Power BI, the different types of cardinalities and cross filter directions. We will also look at how to enable and disable relationships. Okay. So this will conclude our section of data modeling in Power BI. Okay. So after completing the data modeling section, we will move on to the DAX part. Okay, here it is. So we will move on to the DAX part. I will come on to this later, data visualization, but after doing the data modeling, we will come on to this DAX part. Okay, which stands for data analysis expression. So DAX is the fundamental engine behind the formula and calculations in Power BI. Okay, so we will begin with exploring like the two essential concepts, that is the row filter context, okay, sorry, row context and the filter context, and we will understand how they are different, these two things, row context and filter context. Okay, this knowledge is crucial for mastering the DAX. Okay. Next, we will dive into creating the calculated columns, okay, and the measures, making sure to clarify the difference between implicit measure and the explicit measures. Okay, so these are very common question in the interview, that what is the difference between calculated columns and the measures. So we will go through all of these things. Okay, then we will then cover a range of DAX functions, including the aggregate functions, iterator functions. Okay, and also we will see the some of the logical functions as well. Okay, like if function, switch functions as well. Okay, as there are various call functions as well. Okay, so we will give special attention to the calculate for functions. Okay, this one. Okay, examining how to apply and modify filters in DAX. Additionally, we will explore the table function as well, the logical concatenation, time intelligence function also we will discuss, okay, and how to create the date dimension table. Okay, we will also cover the use of we can say dimension. Okay, we will also make the use of this summarize function for generating summary tables as well. Okay, as well as utilizing variables and quick measures when appropriate. Okay, so this section will provide a standing of tax. Okay, equipping you with the necessary skills for data analysis in Power BI. Next, next we will go through this data visualization part. Okay, starting with an understanding of different types of visuals. Okay, and more importantly, how to choose the right visual for each scenario. Okay, once we cover the basics, we will explore the range of visuals options available in Power BI. We will also look at the custom visuals, like there are some custom visuals as well that can be imported from the third-party sources to enhance our dashboard. So we will look into that as well. Okay. So in addition to creating visuals, we will focus on advanced features such as like applying conditional formatting using bookmarks, okay, to improve the report navigations, and also we will discuss about the page navigations techniques along with the other features. Okay, we will go into detail on these tools. Okay, as they are key to building interactive and effective visualizations in Power BI. So these are the things in the visualization part. So, and after finishing the visual section, we will move on to the Power BI service. Okay, so it is nothing but the cloud-based platform where you can publish and share your Power BI projects. So in this section, we will cover the different licensing options available in Power BI. We will also learn how to set up workspaces, publish reports, and create dashboards. Okay, and also we will look into the apps within the Power BI service environment. Okay. Additionally, we will go through the process of downloading and configuring the gateways. Okay, also known as data gateways. And then we will look into the scheduling the refresh. Okay, that is the data refresh and understanding the how data flows work. Okay. We will clarify the difference between data flows and the data sets. Okay, and cover the essential security practices such as implementing static and dynamic RLS, which is also known as row level security. Lastly, we will explore the concept of refresh to ensure efficient data updates. Okay, so once that will be covered in the Power BI service section, then throughout the course, in addition to learning the concept, we will work on an end-to-end business intelligence project. Okay, we will also discuss the interview questions covering both conceptual and scenario-based topics. Okay, so this project will integrate all the components and techniques learned in Power BI, okay, providing you with the hands-on experience and a well-rounded understanding of the tool. So that concludes the Power BI syllabus. If you have any questions regarding the syllabus, please go ahead. Any
No question.
questions? Yes or no? Okay, no questions. So let's begin by understanding the business intelligence, which serves as the foundation for using the Power BI. Okay. In simple terms, BI is a process of collecting the data and transforming it from its raw or unstructured form into something more insightful and meaningful. Okay. On the left side of this slide, okay, we can see a plain table here, okay, with multiple columns, including the dimensions and the measures. Okay. However, when you look at this table, it's hard to draw any clear conclusions. Okay. So this is where just so yeah, what I was talking about. So we have this table, okay, which is hard to understand. Okay? So this is where the business intelligence plays a crucial role. It helps us to convert raw data like this, okay, into visually rich insights like this. Okay. For example, in the first visual, okay, here you can see, we can see that the year to date sales, okay, year to date sales amount, which is nothing but the 11.53 million with a slight decline of 0.83%. Okay. Moving on to the second visual, it highlights the top 5 products based on the YTD sales for the year. The third visuals the third visual shows the graphical distribution of sales across different states within the country. Okay. So this is a real world example of how Power BI works. Although the original data might seem overwhelming and unclear, BI tools help us to transform it into visuals that communicate insights effectively. Okay. Business users can then easily see which states are performing well in sales, which products are leading, and how YTD sales are progressing. Okay. In summary, the process of converting these raw data into actionable insights is what we refer to as business intelligence. Okay. I hope this explanation of business intelligence is clear for you. So, uh, if you guys have any question, you can please ask. Please make the class more interactive. So we have more more question and more understanding regarding this course. Okay. So let's continue by examining the high level architecture of business intelligence. Okay. Whether it's a multinational corporation or a smaller setup. So the overall architecture generally follows the same structure. Okay. So the process begins on this left side. Here you can see where the data flows in from various sources. So these are some sources from where the data flows. Okay. So these sources can include RDBMS, that is the Relational Database Management System. That can be Excel spreadsheet, okay, or the Access database. It can be flat or text file, okay, or even directly from some transactional system or operating systems and some other data sources. Okay, so we have different. So this variety of data sources forms the foundation for building a comprehensive BI solution. Okay, allowing businesses to integrate and analyze data from multiple touch points. Okay, we can get the data from various sources. Okay, next, the incoming data moves to a section called as staging area. Okay, so this is what we call as the staging area where the ETL process takes place. So those who don't know about the ETL, ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Okay, let's break down each of these phases. Okay, so extract. This phase involves pulling the data from various sources, whether it's Excel files, flat files, or RDBMS databases. Okay. Essentially, the goal here is to gather raw data from wherever it resides. Okay. Collecting it from multiple places. Okay. Then this T. This T stands for transform. Once the data is extracted, we move to the transformation phase, where the raw data is cleaned and shaped into the desired format. Okay. So this step is crucial for resolving any inconsistencies, errors, or issues with the data. For example, if the date format in these sources are in the form of like DDMMYY, but what we need is it should be in MMTDYY. So this step will correct such formatting option. So that will come under the transformation step. Okay. Any necessary data cleaning, reformatting, and shaping are done during this stage to ensure the data is accurate and usable. Okay. So this transformation process ensures that the data is accurate, consistent, and ready for the analysis. Okay. The ETL stage, often referred to as the staging environment, as I told you. Okay. So it plays a critical role in preparing the data before it proceeds further along with the business intelligence pipeline. It acts as a foundation for all the downstream processes by ensuring the data is clean, reliable, and in the correct structure for the reporting analysis. Okay. So once the data has been transformed, okay, to meet our requirements, it is then loaded into the data warehouse. A data warehouse is not a single tool, but rather a combination of tools and techniques. Okay, that together form a centralized repository for like a centralized repository for all the data collected from various sources. Okay, so to put it simply, data from different origins is passed through the ETL pipeline where is standardized and clean. Okay, so this unified and structured data is then stored in the data warehouse, which becomes the single source of uh, like what single source for the organization from where we can pull the data. Okay, so within the data warehouse, data is typically categorized into different business domains based on the nature of the organization. Okay, for example, there might be finance domain, HR domain, and another. Let's say for operations and or manufacturing. Okay, domain. So from this central repository, data can be further organized into smaller or more focused units called as data marts. If we need information specific to financial reporting, we will pull it from the finance data mart. Likewise, data for HR or operations reporting would be retrieved from their respective domain specific data marts. Okay. Then the final stage in the business intelligence architecture involves the use of BI tools. Okay. So these are the platforms where actual reporting and data visualization happen. Okay. So popular tools include Power BI, Tableau. Uh, there are many more like ClickSense, Grafana, and others. Okay. For example, if we are analyzing operational or manufacturing data mart. Okay. So we would connect to the appropriate data mart. Okay. We will connect our visualization tool or the BI tool with that data mart and use it to build the reports and dashboards. Okay. So the ultimate goal is to present data in a meaningful way, and that's achieved through the tools like Power BI, Grafana, Tableau. Okay. So this is where we do the visualization and reporting part. Then within the central repository data warehouse, as I told, you will find different types of data. Okay, uh, the different types of data is stored. Okay, so each serving a specific purpose. Okay. Let's say this, the first one refers to descriptive information about the data itself. Okay. It defines the structure, source, and attributes of the data, making it easier to understand and manage effectively. So then we have summary data. So this is aggregated data that typically used for high-level reporting and analysis. It's derived from raw data and is often grouped by dimensions such as time, geography, or product category to support decision making. Okay, so if you guys have learned the group by in SQL, you may have idea about how the group by works. It is just represent the same data, the summary data. It just summarize the data. And then we have the raw data. So this is the detailed, unprocessed data collected directly from day-to-day business operations, okay, such as sales transaction, customer interaction, or inventory dates, okay, providing the most granular level of information. So all of this data, whether metadata, summary data, or raw transactional data, is systematically organized and then segmented into data marts based on specific business functions. Okay. For example, sales related data is stored in the sales data mart. Marketing information is placed in the marketing data mart. Employee related records are placed in the employee data. Okay. So this domain wise segregation within the data warehouse simplifies both the data management and retrieval. Okay. So it allows teams to access only the relevant information for their area, improving efficiency and clarity in reporting and analysis. Okay, so this is some basic definition regarding the business intelligence. Okay, so now just give me a minute. Now let's move ahead and discuss the importance of business intelligence. Okay, like business intelligence or the business BI tools. Okay, why they are essential and what types are commonly used in the industry. Okay, so the main idea to grasp here is that raw or unstructured data, okay, like simple tables or long list of values, is often hard to interpret or analyze directly. Okay, that's where the BI tools come into the picture. So these tools help us to transform such data into clear and visually meaningful insights, making it much easier for users to understand the patterns. Okay. So yeah, so this transformation process is what we refer to as business intelligence. So there are several well-known BI tools used in the industry today. So including like the Power BI, Tableau, ClickView, Alteryx, NSBI, and the SAP BI. And there also some like a Spotfire and Grafana. Okay. So among these, Power BI has emerged as the most widely adopted tools. Okay, so the reasons are compelling. Like, so the reasons are this Power BI why it is very famous among the BI tool users is because it supports integration with over 100 different data sources, making it highly flexible. Okay. It offers a seamless integration with Microsoft 365 tools like Outlook and Teams. Okay. And with the addition of Microsoft Fabric, it now provides even more powerful features across data analysis and governance. Okay. So we will explore these integrations and capabilities in greater detail as the course progress. Okay. But this gives you a solid foundation on why BI tools are critical and what your operations are in the market. Okay. Now, in the recent years, Power BI has experienced a tremendous rise in popularity, as I said. Okay. So, key thing to note is that Power BI is not just one standalone application. Okay. It's actually a comprehensive suite of integrated tools and components that together make the Power BI ecosystem. Okay. So these components work in harmony to help users to connect to various data sources, clean and transform the data, build data models, create visual reports, and share the insights across the organization. Okay. Let's now take a closer look at the main components that make up the Power BI ecosystem. Okay. So each have their specific use. Okay. So first start with this Power BI desktop. So this is the desktop-based development tool you install on your computer or the system. Okay, it's the central workspace where most of your work will happen. Okay, from your 80% of the work will happen on this Power BI desktop, from connecting to data sources and transforming data to building the models and designing interactive reports. It's essentially the core of the Power BI development. This Power BI desktop. Okay, then we have this Power BI service. So this is the cloud-based platform where you publish, share, and collaborate on your reports and dashboards. Okay. So, yeah. So with Power BI service, you can manage workspaces, distribute apps, and scheduling data refreshes, okay, making it ideal for the team-based collaboration and organization-wide deployment. Okay. Then we have this Power BI mobile app. So this is designed for smartphones and tablets. Okay. This app allows users to view and interact with the reports and dashboards on the go. Okay. It's not meant for development, but it's incredibly useful for executives or field staff who need quick insights while away from their works. We cannot develop anything on this Power BI mobile app. Okay, it's just for viewing the reports and the dashboards. Okay, so yeah, then we have the Power BI service. So this is for organizations that prefer or require on-premises deployment rather than using the cloud. Okay, it allows you to host and manage Power BI reports on your own local servers, offering full control over the data and infrastructure. Okay, so this is what the Power BI servers are. Okay. Then finally, we have the Power BI report builder. Okay, so this tool, this one, is used for creating paginated reports, which are print ready and highly formatted. Often used for operational reporting. Okay, so it's similar in purpose to SSRS, SQL Server reporting services. Okay, and is ideal when the layout and the pagination matters. Okay, so together, all these components form a comprehensive suite, enabling everything from report creation, collaboration to on-the-go access and enterprise level deployment, all within the Power BI ecosystem. Okay. But here, yeah, so this is all about the Power BI components. So any questions before we proceed? No questions. Now let's understand how the key components of Power BI play different roles across the end-to-end workflow. Okay, so Power BI Desktop is the main development environment. Okay, so it handles almost everything. It can be used for importing and connecting to data, performing ATL tasks, okay, building data models, creating visuals, and performing the detailed analysis. In short, this is where you will do all the heavy lifting when it comes to designing your reports and dashboards. Okay. Then we have the Power BI service comes into play after deployment. Okay. Once our report is ready, we can publish it to the cloud using this platform. Okay. Using this Power BI service platform. Okay. So the Power BI service is used for sharing your reports and dashboards, creating and managing workspaces, collaborating with the teams, okay, setting up scheduled data refreshes. All these things can be done in the Power BI service. Then we have the Power BI mobile app. So it is designed strictly for viewing and consuming reports. Let's it lets you stay connected to your dashboards and reports while on the move. Okay. However, it does not support editing or deploying the contents. Okay. It's just for reviewing the work that's already been created and published. Okay, this Power BI. So these are the different components that make the Power BI suite, each playing its own role in the overall workflow. Okay. Then let's now talk about the building blocks of Power BI. So before proceeding further, if you guys have any question, please do ask. Okay, if you guys have full freedom to ask any question regarding what we are covering right now. Okay. So let's not talk about the building blocks. Okay. So the essential elements that form the foundation of how Power BI works and delivers insights. Okay. So this is what building blocks of Power BI have. Okay. So first one and the most fundamental component is the data set. Okay. So a data set is simply the collection of data that you bring into Power BI for analysis. So this data can come from variety of sources such as Excel files, CSV, flat files, SQL database, okay, online services like SharePoint or the Salesforce. Okay, so once imported or connected, the dataset servers as the basis for creating visuals, reports, and dashboards. Okay, so once that dataset is connected with our Power BI, we can just make use of it for creating the visuals and the reports. Okay, so anytime you are working with data inside Power BI, you are essentially working with a data set, whether it's stored in a Power BI desktop or connected through the Power BI service. Okay, then we have the visualization. So these are graphical representation of your data, such as bar charts, pie charts, line graphs, tree maps, and the whole card visuals, and many more. We will discuss all this visualization part. So visualization help you mix the sense of your data quickly, okay, allowing for better pattern, okay, or the better pattern like the recognition or the comparisons between the different visuals. Okay, so as we saw in the first slide, like so visuals like the YTD sales summary, okay, the top products and the geographical sales distributions are examples of how raw data can be translated or transformed into clear, insightful visuals. Okay. So this is what the visualization does. Okay. Then we have the tiles. Okay, a tile is the individual container or frame that holds a single visualization on a report or dashboard. Okay, think of it like a building block. Okay? Each visual appears inside its own tile. Okay, for instance, let me just give you an example. This YTD sales figure here you can see is represented in a tile. So it is containing a tile, and here it is representing this visual. Okay, and so is every other visual. Okay, we have these all these visuals are containing their own tiles. So they are on tiles and showing us the visuals. Okay, so together these tiles form the layout of your report or dashboard, giving structure to the information you are presenting. Okay, then we have the reports. Okay, when you look at the collection of visuals displayed together, so this entire set is referred to as a report. Okay, while each individual visual is shown in its own tile. Okay, so when these tiles comes together in one place, they form a full report. Okay, if we have a lot of, suppose this is our Power BI. Okay, this is our Power BI report view, and these are some visuals. If I will just put all the different visuals in here, so collectively it is showing us the report. Okay, so this is what report means. If you have different visuals at one place, so that form a report. Okay, then we have the dashboards. Okay? And it's important to clarify this term. In most industries, the terms report and the dashboards are often used interchangeably. Okay? People generally refer both in the same way, thinking they mean the same thing. However, within the Power BI, specifically in the Power BI service, there is actually a difference between these two reports and the dashboards. Okay? In Power BI, a report and a dashboard are not exactly the same. Even though both display visuals, we will go into the detailed differences when we start the Power BI service section. Okay, later. But for now, just remember this: while both reports and dashboards showcase visuals, they serve different purposes in Power BI service, and their structure is not identical. Okay, any dots till now, people? Or you guys have any doubt? Yes or no?
Do you have any examples for reports and dashboards in case?
Reports and dashboards. Yes, I do have. So let me just give you, let me just show you the example. Let me just, uh, so see here we have this collection of reports. Okay, and here we can do the, I have taken the screenshot. Okay, so we have different pages, and all those collectively called as reports. So this is one of the example of reports, and here we can change or filter all these results. Okay, but in the dashboard, the dashboard is screenshot is not available. It will also show the visuals, but here there will be some limitations. Okay, we cannot do the filtrations and some of the other things. Okay, so it will be like the static thing, but here reports, these are kind of dynamic things, and we can do much more things on the reports with respect to the dashboards. Okay.
Okay.
You say the combination of dashboards and tiles is a report, because the report you have all different kinds of things, right?
Yes, in the report also we have different kind of things, and on the dashboard also we have the different kinds of visuals. Okay, the thing is
Okay.
called the visual. Like these are the visuals.
I just want to see the
But-
difference basically. Yeah, if you look into Google, yeah, you'll find some reports, dashboards, just to see the actual differences. Yeah. That's fine, Malik. We will look into it. We'll check maybe some samples in the Google.
We will do all those things. Like we will create the reports and the dashboards throughout the process, and we will discuss the
Yeah, okay.
details and the differences in very first detail. Okay. Okay, fine. Moving ahead. Now, let's discuss the four main views of the Power BI desktop. Okay. Let me go to the Power BI desktop itself. Okay. So here, when you open the Power BI desktop, you will be greeted by its graphical user interface. Okay. Here you can see this is the Power BI desktop. And it's important to note that it offers multiple views to work with your data and reports. Okay. Now, the first one is the report view. Like I have over my cursor over this. So the first one, it is showing me the report view. So this is the view we are currently looking at. And in this mode, you can see all the visuals and the reports. Okay. This is where you will spend time building and viewing your visualization. Okay. So this is the place where we have all the reports. Okay. Now, the second one is the table view. Okay. So also known as this is also known as the data view. Here you will find all your data tables stored in the Power BI. So this view allows you directly inspect the data that you have imported or processed. Okay. Right now it is empty because we haven't imported any data of this. Okay. Next, okay. Next we have model view. Okay, which provides insights into your tables. Okay, which provides insights like how your tables are related to another table. Okay, the relationship between the tables. Okay, in this view, you will see the connections, the relationships, and cardinalities between tables. Okay, now you might be wondering what exactly is cardinality. Okay, so we will discuss that in depth later when we get to the data modeling section. So for now, just remember that model view shows you how different tables are linked and interact with one another. Okay. Then we have the DAX query view. Finally, we have the DAX query view, which is a like a this DAX query view has been added by the Microsoft itself. I think in the last of 2023 or the mid of 2024. I just don't remember the exact year, but it was added later on. Previously, we have only these three reports, these three views. Okay, this was added later. So, so this view is especially useful for testing aggregation functions, debugging table relationships, and checking the results of your calculated measures or the columns which you have created. Okay, so it's a handy place to experiment with DAX formulas and understand their outputs. Okay, so these are four different views. Okay, so to summarize it, so report view is used for creating and viewing your visual reports. This table view is used for viewing the actual data tables. Then we have this model view, also known as Power Pivot, for understanding the relationships between the tables. And then we have the DAX query view for testing and analyzing the DAX expressions. Okay, so that covers the four main views in Power BI desktop, which I have also shown you here. Then, so before diving into the Power Query Editor, which serves as a Power BI's integrated ATL tool here, let's first understand the broader workflow within the Power BI. Okay. So the journey begins by establishing the connections to various data sources. Okay. So these can range from databases and flat files to cloud platforms, and many other supported services. Okay. In this initial step, Power BI pulls in the raw data, setting up the stage for further transformation and analysis. So the next phase is the data transformation, where we refine and structure the data into a clean, usable format. Okay. So this setup, okay, or this step ensures the data is consistent, accurate, and free of errors. Okay. Then, so carry out these transformations. We will use the Power Query Editor, a built-in tool within the Power BI desktop, built-in ETL tool within the Power BI desktop. Okay. So once the data is clean and shaped, we process to the data modeling stage. Okay. So this data modeling stage will happen in the model view, as we have already discussed. Okay. And after that, so in data modeling, we will create the relationship between the tables. Then we have this. Okay. The next step is to create calculated columns and measures. Okay. Also, so these calculated columns and measures, these are the custom formulas that help generate specific insights and numeric outputs tailored for our visualizations. Okay. So once those are in place, we move on to the designing the reports and the visuals. Okay, where all the insights are brought together in a clear, interactive, and easy to understand format. Okay. Finally, when the reporting is complete, okay, we publish the reports to Power BI service. Okay, allowing us to share them and collaborate with others within the organization. So this outlines the basic workflow of Power BI. Connect to data source, transform the data using Power Query Editor, model the data in the model view, create calculated columns and measures, build the reports and visualizations, publish and share through the Power BI service. So this is the basic workflow. Now, let's get familiar with the Power Query Editor. The ETL tool built in built into the Power BI. Okay, so at this stage, we are not diving into the data imports and transformation. Okay, the focus is just on exploring the interface and understanding its layout. Okay, right now I'm not going to do the hands-off thing. Okay, right now I'm not going to do the hands-off thing. I'm just trying to give you the taste of the Power Query Editor. Okay, so we will do the hands-on in the next class. Okay, maybe. But right now, I will just give you the overview of this Power Query Editor. So to open the Power Query Editor, okay, first you have to open the Power BI desktop. And yeah, here, this is our Power BI desktop. I will tell you how to install this Power BI desktop. So it's very easy. To install the Power BI desktop, you can go to the Microsoft Office or the Microsoft Store, sorry. Here you can open it. And here you can search for Power BI desktop. So here it is, Power BI desktop. If you will see it, it will give you the option of to install the application. As I have already installed, it is showing me the then. Okay, so it is we have to complete it. So it is quite very simple to install this Power BI desktop. Okay, because for other tools we might have very complex things, but this a Power BI desktop you can easily install. Just do the next things, and that will be just that will get installed. Okay, and then the another way you can just go to the Microsoft website. Here you can just put it in search for Power BI, desktop download like that. Okay. Go to the official site of the Microsoft. From here also you can just download it. Okay. This is how we can download the Power BI desktop. Okay. So once it is downloaded, so you will open it and you will be greeted with this user interface. Okay. Now we were talking about the Power Query Editor. Okay. So to open the Power Query Editor, so first of all, what we have to do, we have to first go to the Home tab. Okay. And in the Home tab, you will see this Transform Data option. Okay. So this will open the Power Query Editor in a new window. Okay. Separate from the main Power BI interface. Okay. Let me just click on it to show you. Here you will now notice that two separate windows are open on my task. Okay, one is for Power BI Desktop and another for Power Query Editor. So in Power BI Desktop, we will have all the visualizations and all these things. We will do the DAX and all these things. Okay, but here in the Power Query Editor, we will do all the transformations, the cleaning, the profiling of the data. Okay, so here let me just bring some of the data. Okay, let me just quickly show something. We will discuss all these things, how to import and all this thing, but right now I'm just trying to show you how the Power Query Editor works. Okay, the layout of the Power Query Editor. Okay, so on the left there's a queries pane. Okay, which lists all the tables in your data in Power Query. These tables are called as queries. Okay, so whatever tables you will brought into the Power Query Editor will be listed here. Okay. On the right hand side here, you will find the applied steps pane. Okay, so this area shows each transformations. Okay, each transformation step you have performed on the selected table or the query. It's like a running history of all your data cleaning actions. Okay, now we will dive deeper into these features when we start working with real data. Okay, but for now, this gives you a basic visual understanding of the Power Query editor layer. Okay, let me show you. Um, just let me show you one example. Just open on Power BI visual where I've done something. Um, Go to the transform data. It will redirect me to the Power Query editor. Now, take a look at this table, the films table. Okay. On the left hand side, we will see we can see the is okay the same thing. Okay, let it be. Okay, here we have the films table. Okay, and you will see the list if there will be more table. Okay, along with other parameters also that may exist. Okay, so we will cover that what parameters are in detail later. But for now, just keep in mind that this pane shows you the tables, the parameters, and all those things. Okay, over here on the right side, you will see the applied state. Okay, which we have right now. These are the things. For example, if you will click on this source, okay, it will show you the path from where this table has been imported. Okay, the movies like this text. Okay, moving on to the next step, that is navigation. So it indicates what specific data or table you are selecting or pulling from the source. Okay. Here you can see from that movies folder, I have imported this sheet one. If there will be any many other stable, then it will show other stable as well. But here in this movies, we have only one sheet, so that is why it is showing only one here. Okay, then comes to the promoted headers. So this step will see previously these headers are onto the first row, but when I've selected this promoted header, so here we can see the headers were promoted to the top that has been selected as a column headers. Okay, after that we have changing data types like these columns. We have done some changing in their data types. So every transformation you apply to your data table gets recorded, and here in it will display in the applied steps pane on the right hand side. It provides a step-by-step history of all the changes made, so you can go easily and track and manage your data cleaning and preparation process. Okay. Now let's take a look at the home tab in Power Query Editor. Here we can see this home tab. Okay. First of all, we have this apply and close. Clicking apply and close finalize all the transformation steps you have made in Power Query Editor and takes back you to the Power BI desktop. Okay. So using this apply and close, this is how you confirm and save the changes you have made in the Power Query Editor. Okay. Then new source. If you need to add uh, more files or data tables, you can use the new source option. This lets you connect to additional data sources. Okay, so Power BI supports over 100 different types of data sources, giving you a lot of flexibility when importing the data. Here you can see these are many data sources with which we can connect our Power BI. Okay, then the recent sources option allows us to access the data sources you have got recently. Okay, if you would like to manually enter the data, okay, you can just go with this enter data. Okay. And yes, we have this integrated which lets you create a tables directly within the Power Query editor. Then we have the data source setting. If you need to modify any of these settings for your existing data sources, you can do here data source setting. So, and also we have some additional options. You will find options to refresh all the tables and also access the advanced editor where you can view and modify the encode, the scripting language of the Power Query editor uses to carry out your transformations. Okay, in I will show you the advanced editor. Then we have this choose column option. So this options allows you to select only specific columns. Okay, you want to keep in your data set. Then just remove column. This tool will help you to eliminate unwanted columns or rows from your data. Okay. Then we have this split column. This functions lets you divide a single column into multiple columns based on a delimiter or any specific logic, whatever you choose from here. Okay. Then we have the group by option. So this is used to aggregate data, summarizing sales by region or total hours by employee, like this things. Okay. Then also we have the merge and append queries. So these are powerful tools for combining the data. Okay. Merge joins the data from two tables based on a common column. Okay. While append stacks tables on top of each other, like adding more rows. Okay. Next, let's explore the transform tab. Okay. So this tab provides a broader set of tools for refreshing and refining your data. Okay. So you will notice that some features here are also available in the home tab. Like for instance, you can see the split column is already here. Okay, and we also have what we can group by is already here. Okay, so these are the things which are present in both the home tab and the transform tab. Okay. Then so within the transform tab, you can perform variety of data transformation, such as like where should I start from? The main thing I'm searching for is first one is here. I was searching for this use row as a first header. Use first row as a header. Okay. I think it is not here. Can let it go. So if you will select this, your first row will be converted into as a header. Okay. And in the transform tab, we have this transpose thing, which means swapping the rows into columns and columns into rows. Okay. And we have reverse rows, which will use to flip the data order. Okay. And then we have the count rows, which will use to count the number of rows in your data set. Okay. Then also we have the replace values if you need to clean or correct data entries. Like okay, we have pivot and unpivoting columns. Okay, to reshape your data for better analysis. Okay. We also have these splitting columns. Okay, we can split the columns into multiple parts based on delimiters or the characters count. Okay, and applying mathematical transformations using built-in mathematical functions to manipulate numerical data. We have this statics, standard, and scientific things. Okay, we will dive deep into each of these features once we begin working with the real data in Power BI. For now, the goal is just to get comfortable with the interface and become aware of what tools are available. Okay, no need to focus on the details right now. Okay, I'm just giving you the overview. So we will discuss all these things in very much detail. Okay, then we have the add column tag. Okay, so if you need to create new columns in your data set while working in Power Query Editor, you will use the add column tab. Okay, so so key thing to remember here is that any transformations applied from this tab, okay, doesn't override the existing columns. Okay, instead it generates a new columns that reflect the changes, like allowing you to preserve the original data while extending it with calculated or modified fields. Okay, here you have several options. Okay, like columns from examples. You can create new columns by simply providing examples of the values you want, and Power BI will automatically figure out the logic. Okay, then we have the custom column, and you can define your own logic and formulas to create fully customized columns. Then we have invoke custom functions. This allows you to apply predefined or custom functions to generate new columns. Okay. Then we have the conditional column. You can create columns based on if then logic, okay, assigning values based on certain conditions. Then we have the index columns. It adds sequential numbers to your rows by creating an index column. Okay. Then we have the duplicate column. If you want to create an exact copy of an existing column for further transformation, you can do that too. Okay. Then these are the math-based columns calculation columns we can create using these things. Okay, so there are options to create columns using the mathematical functions for performing calculations directly during the transforming stage. Okay, we will explore each of these options truly once we start working with actual data set. Okay, then we have the view tab to better understand the structure and quality of your data. The View tab in Power Query Editor provides powerful profiling tools. Okay, these include the column quality. Okay, column quality in the sense here you can see this column quality. It displays the percentage of valid, error, and empty values in each column. Okay, helping you quickly identify data issues. Okay, and then we have the column distribution. It offers a visual overview showing you how many unique and duplicate values exist within a column. Okay. Then we have the column profile, gives detailed statistics, okay, like count, distinct values, minimum, maximum, and data types. Okay, offering deep insights into your data. Okay. So this process of examining data is called column profiling, and it plays a crucial role in ensuring that your data is accurate and ready for analysis. So this includes our walkthrough over the Power Query Editor interface. Okay, if you have any question, feel free to ask. Any question related to what we have discussed till now? Yes or no?
From my side.
Okay, great. Okay, fine then. I will just stop here as today is the demo session. Okay. So from the next session, we will start, most probably we will start the hands-on thing. We will start from the importing the data and all these things. Okay. So yeah, I will stop here. If you guys don't have any questions, then we can drop off. Okay. And the next class will be, so the regular session will start from the next Saturday. Okay. So the classes will be on Saturday and Sunday only. Okay. From 11 to 12:30 p.m.
Tomorrow
Okay.
we don't have a class.
No, tomorrow we don't have a class. As today is the demo session, so regular session will start from the next Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, so fine then. Let's
Thank you.
connect next week. Till then, bye and check care.
Thank you. Thank you, Shay.